Hi guys, my name is Roger, and ever since I was a teenager, I've always wanted to build my own car. I started this channel to see if an average person, like me, can design and build their own mid-engine car. If you like what you see here in my videos, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who you think might be interested in my videos, please share the videos with them. I'll be adding a new video every week, and with that out of the way, let's get started with this week's video. Well, I have taken the wiring just about as far as I can for now. I've done all that I know that I can do and all that I know how to do. So until I get some more things ironed out, we're going to stop on the wiring. The next thing I'm going to do is I have ordered some metal tubing right here. This tubing will go underneath the lower part of the dash here across, and it'll be what this wiring harness attaches to. So I've got to cut and bend it, or cut and splice it, weld it. Well, here's the piece I made. I've got it sitting pretty close to where it goes. I've got these wooden shims underneath to hold the height correct. I think it needs to scoot just a little bit to the left, but not far. The jog is wider than the tunnel in the car because it needs to be this size or this width to match the wiring harness. So I'm going to shift it a little bit to the right. I don't want to take up any of the legroom for the driver. There'll be a slight dip or recess in that area for the passenger seat, but I don't feel like it's going to be any bad thing. I've sat in the seat and it's there's plenty of legroom. But a little close up here, you can see how the wiring harness is laying there, and it attaches with these little push pins, Christmas tree fasteners, and this will come up here and fasten to the back. A couple places. Here's another Christmas tree clip that I'll mark and put in this post, and it's the same thing on the other end. It fastens with the Christmas tree clips, and the wiring harness is the shape of this metal brace. I will cut these off the correct length once I figure out what that is, and weld a tube up into the car frame here, and a couple of vertical pieces from here down to these tubes in the floor. That'll hold that securely in place, and then once it's solid I can attach other pieces of the instrument panel or the dash and the glove box and things like that to hinge to it. And over here I can come off the top of this with some tubing or something and support this just to give that steering column a little bit more strength. It's pretty solid, but I think the factory one is a little bit more solid, so I'll probably add another brace there, just a little something. But this is what we accomplished today. Looks pretty good. And tomorrow I'll start getting the exact placement and cutting pieces for the ends and getting all that ready to weld into the car. Well, here's what I've been working on, and I've got it to a good point to where I'm going to stop for today. It is finished. The frame, little frame that comes down here to the center tunnel area, is welded in. I have holes drilled and bolts dropped in the holes. Even over here on the ends, I've got machine screws stuck in the holes. I need to bring the rivet nut gun home from work, put some rivet nuts in the frame and in this little hoop down here at the tunnel so I can bolt this in and out. I thought about welding it originally, but it's going to be too hard to fit the carbon fiber tub in around all of this, having to notch it and slide it in, so it just makes more sense to bolt this in. I can drop the carbon fiber tub in and bolt through the tub into the frame. It'll help hold the tub in place and be easier to install everything. You can see here how the wiring harness uses those Christmas tree clips and fastens in the holes. Then there's more Christmas tree clips I've got to drill holes for that'll hold that wiring harness all the way across over to this end and all the way across to this end and wrap around going forward, where it'll continue on up the A-pillar to the top of the windshield. But all of that lines up and looks like it works really nice. The ends here are just a little over 2 inches shorter than the edge of the car. This is where the dash will come and wrap around, and then there'll be a hump built out on the door panel that comes in and seats up against that and fills in that void area. That's typically how a lot of cars are done, and I thought it would be the easiest to do on this also. Been working on a door hinge and door on models on the computer. I've spent several hours this week filling in with computer models since some of my parts didn't come in I ordered. The door hinge will bolt here and here on this other surface in both directions to make it very solid so it won't have any play in it. I'm going to have to remove this gusset on both sides because the hinge is in the way of it, and I will put a thicker, stronger gusset on the inside of those tubes inside the car. The door hinge mechanism is not going to allow me to put any other kind of diagonal support in here for strength, and even though the roll cage is attached to the top, I think it needs some more strength in this area, and especially once I remove these. So I'll put a real thick plate back here in this area with a nice gusset on it, which should strengthen it tremendously. It'll probably be a 3/16 plate, something really heavy. And I have ordered all the materials for the hinges and have the models ready, pretty much ready, at least on the hinge, not the door. And to start fabricating all of this, I ordered all the materials for the hinges and some of the door framing. It's about $1,300. It's quite expensive for just what it is, but once you see it, you'll understand why. And I will show you the computer models. I want to show you guys here on the computer the door hinge and door mechanism that I have modeled. This is what it looks like. This is just a simulated door. It's close to the approximate shape and size, but it's not exact. And this is the hinge mechanism. This is the post that it attaches to on the car, and this is what the door would look like closed, and this is what it would look like open. You can see the door opens outward 90 degrees and swings upward 90 degrees, and this happens because basically this hinge is a parallelogram and this gear is fixed to the hinge, which when swung open rotates and rotates this gear upwards. So it's kind of a simple mechanism. Let me show you what this looks like on the car itself. Alright, this is the car. Door closed. And this is door open. You can see that it has plenty of clearance from the ground. It swings up and forward so you can get in and out of the car easily. And it swings out far enough to clear the wheels and tires in the car body. So that's kind of what it looks like and how it functions. This is the exact copy of the Koenigsegg cars, that the hinges and door hinges that they use. Found the mechanism online and reverse engineered it and modeled it, and this is what I come up with. This is the plan for me to use on the car.